My name's Jason Shamblin, and it's my privilege to be the director of the Ottawa County Parks and Recreation Commission. And behind me today is the Grand River. So it's the longest river in Michigan, and it runs from Grand Rapids, Grand Haven to Jackson, Michigan. It's 152 miles. And also behind us, you'll see the trail. It's the Eichinger Explorers Trail, and it's a multi-purpose trail system that when it's completed, it will connect Grand Haven to Grand Rapids. It will also connect 46 public parks and over 250 miles of trails. Thank you. So last week I got a call from Clay Summers, the executive director of MParks, and he said, Jason, do you have any projects that would be good stimulus fund projects? And I said, Clay, check your inbox. Several weeks ago, we put together a package of about 15 projects that were what we considered shovel-ready projects. Projects we could get started in 2022 and have done by 2024. And there were various projects from natural resources restoration to trails projects to new builds to reconstruction projects all throughout the county. And he said, wow, these are wonderful. I'll call you back. I've got some conversations later today with the state folks at the state, and I'll let you know what's going on. So he calls me back later and he says, hey, the governor wants to come to one of your parks and make an announcement. So here we are today. Thank you all for coming. A little bit about this project in particular. It's the Stearns Bayou connector of the Grand River Greenway Eichinger Explorers Trail. So it will connect this one last segment of this part of the Grand River Greenway. And when it's done, it'll connect in with the 231 bridge and the North Bank Trail on the north side, and it'll connect this little segment, this 2.4 mile segment, which will be then 27 mile loop that will connect a round loop of the segment. So, but alone, it's a $3.8 million project. So we have funding from our Ottawa County Parks millage. We have private dollars, we have transportation alternative dollars, as well as lots of fundraising from our foundation and the Grand River Greenway group that has fundraised for it. So special thanks to all those folks. A little bit about Ottawa County and our parks here. So we're so well known for Lake Michigan and our greenways, but as well with the Grand River, we have incredible wetlands and our bayous, which some are the best in all of Michigan, not just for the wetlands, but also for our bird species. And the Parks Commission has the burden of trying to balance the public access and the conservation with that. And these dollars today that they're going to talk about will help us continue to do that. And it's critical for us to do that. So last year alone, we saw, I think across the state, they saw an influx in 30% use. We saw that and many times more. The Google data saw, some weeks we saw increases with the Google data of upwards of 30 or 300% mobility data on Google. Some is the highest in the state, the US, and the globe on some weeks. So Ottawa County is the fastest growing in the state of Michigan. We have the fastest growing in the town. We have the fastest growing township in the state of Michigan, and that's why this funding is the most important to help us continue to protect these resources, to continue to build this infrastructure, to make these assets here for our residents, for the state of Michigan, and for our visitors. So, will you all please help me welcome Director for Michigan Department of Natural Resources, Dan Eichinger. He is Ottawa County's own, grew up right here in Holland, Michigan. So, Director?
Thanks, Jay. Thank you, Jason. I am not sure that there is a better place to be in the summertime than right here in Ottawa County. And I'm so grateful to all of you for coming out here, and thank you for the warm hospitality. It's awfully good to be home, and it's awfully good to be talking about how we can lift up our partners in the outdoor recreation space. As Jason shared with us just a minute or two ago, over the last year to 18 months, we have seen just a tremendous growth in the engagement of outdoor activities, camping, hiking, mountain biking, hunting, fishing, boating, all of the kinds of things that make Michigan unique, all the reasons that we live here, people are doing, and they are doing at a frequency and intensity that we haven't seen in an awfully long time. And as we heard the governor a couple of weeks ago make a historic announcement about the investments that we were going to be making in our Michigan State Park system to ensure that that system is vital, accessible, open, and welcoming to citizens for not just our current generations, but for future generations, I am so pleased to be here to participate in what will be a historic announcement about lifting up those most important partners that we have in the outdoor recreation space, and those are our counties, our cities, our townships, and our local municipalities, and their tremendous park and recreation assets and systems. So again, I'm so pleased to be here. It's awfully good to be back home in Ottawa County. I haven't been here. It's been a few weeks anyway since I've been down here. We came down for tulip time back in early May with my wife and children. It's always good to be home, and it's always good to be among friends. And with that, I want to take the opportunity here and introduce one of our good friends, Mr. Greg DeYoung, one of your great county commissioners here in Ottawa County, to talk about how important these systems and these places are to the residents that you serve. Take it away, Commissioner.
Governor Whitmer, Parks Director Jason Shamblin, Chairman Bergman, Vice Chair Fensky, our entire Board of Commissioners, Park Foundation Board, Friends of the Park, our Parks Committee, and all the hardworking staff of Ottawa County Parks. We are so proud of our Ottawa County Park system. So many passionate people and groups working together to build and develop and maintain one of the best county park systems in the great state of Michigan. And we are proud of their work and dedication. Today, we welcome you all to Bayou, one of our gorgeous parks in the Grand River Greenway, a prime example of what investment into parks and green spaces can offer. In a few short years, this park will be connected to Grand Haven to the west and Grand Rapids to the east by the Idamas Explorer Trail, and you'll be able to walk, bike, ride, paddle between these two great cities and thousands of acres of public land between them. And this matters. Parks through the pandemic gave us hope, encouragement, and health opportunities for all West Michigan visitors. People found peace in biking, walking, kayaking, spending time on Michigan's longest river, or just enjoying the big lake. No matter what type of outdoor activity you're looking for, Ottawa County has something for everyone. And thank goodness for it, because our parks are busier than ever. Today we are honored to have Governor Gretchen Whitmer here in Ottawa County at Bayou announcing the $150 million investment in parks throughout our state. These federal dollars are flowing from the American Rescue Plan. These parks mean many things to many people, including recreational tourism dollars that support not only the state's and local communities, but also those who live and work right here in Ottawa County. Ottawa County is now the fastest growing county in the state, and we welcome new residents every day. Outdoor recreation is part of that, advancing our economic prosperity by supporting high quality of life, talent retention, and raising property values. Tourism and Michigan parks generate values for the surrounding communities. They create jobs and sustain small businesses. On the average, for every $1 invested in conservation leads to $4 in economic benefit. Parks and Michigan outdoor recreation industry supports billions in state's GDP and sustains over 126,000 jobs and over $4.7 billion in wages and salary in Michigan. There are so many reasons why Ottawa County leads the state in growth. The quality of life, job opportunities, respect for each other, faith, family, friends, and of course, our Ottawa County parks. It is no wonder that we can say with earnest, Ottawa County is where you belong. Governor Whitmer, on behalf of all of us who love Ottawa County, thank you for spending the day with us. And now it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce our governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you, Greg. That was great. Thank you. Well, I feel like I stepped into an Ottawa County advertisement here. And it's great. I can see why the pride and glory of this county is, of course, the people who call it home, but also the phenomenal offerings that we have right here that we're able to take in this moment. And we're joined by the namesake of Eichinger, Ms. Eichinger, who's joined us here today. We're glad to have her. And so Greg and Dan and Jason, thank you. Thank you for the tour earlier today. I saw those kayakers out there. I'm hoping they put on their sunscreen. When I went kayaking this weekend, I did not, and my shoulders are a little pink. But anyway, we are here today to discuss critical investment in our local parks and recreation that will help us as a state continue our economic jumpstart as we recover from the pandemic that turned all of our lives upside down. We know that our investments in parks and recreation make Michigan a more competitive and attractive destination for tourism, and it pays enormous dividends for our seasonal and rural economies. We also know that COVID disproportionately hit our tourism and hospitality sectors. And so that's why ensuring that communities like this have the resources and support they need to emerge successfully from this pandemic is so important. Our outdoor recreation sustains 126,000 jobs and generates $4.7 billion in wages and salaries statewide. And unfortunately, over the last decade, we have not invested in our parks and recreation spaces at the level we should have been. Parks are essential infrastructure, and accordingly, we should invest. Now, with federal funds from President Biden's American Rescue Plan, I'm proposing that we use $150 million so that we can invest and modernize Michigan's local parks and develop new local recreation opportunities. Right now, this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make transformative investment in our outdoor spaces, and we ought to take it. The funds that we have could be used to make our parks more accessible, could be used for playgrounds and pavilions and basketball courts and boardwalks across our state. We can also improve our regional trail systems, including the Joe Louis Greenway and Eichinger Explorers, Bridge to Bay, and Grand River Eagles Trail, Edges Trails. This investment will help communities who rely on tourism and nearby parks and local recreation opportunities for not just the residents who call Ottawa County home, but for all of those who travel to Ottawa County. And the $150 million that I'm proposing would be on top of the $250 million investment in state parks and recreation areas that I sketched out last month to begin tackling our backlog of state maintenance on state parks. So, parks bring us together. We saw through the pandemic how important it was to be able to get outside, to connect, to stay safe, to keep our sanity in insane moments, right? Our 10 million acres of public land are equally beloved by all Michiganders, regardless of geography or income or race or class or politics. Last November, Prop 1, which changed the Natural Resource Trust Fund formula to allow for more development of outdoor recreation opportunities on our public lands to ensure every community has access to outdoor spaces, it passed with over 80%. There aren't many things that are that beloved in this moment, and yet we know that our parks and recreation is. We understand that we've got a shared duty to protect and preserve our parks for future generations, and investments in parks and recreation uplift communities. And in times of need, it's a place of collective solace. COVID-19 has highlighted just how essential parks are to our physical and mental well-being. Although nearly every aspect of our lives was turned upside down, we saw a major uptick in park usage across 2020 across the state. Michiganders and folks from out of state came here for opportunities to enjoy the outdoors. We know that time spent in public spaces leads to more physical activity, better mental health, and less stress. Parks help us reset and recover from the stresses of our everyday lives and to connect with our loved ones. So after a pandemic that exacerbated and exposed so many underlying issues and put a strain on our collective mental health and physical well-being, we need our parks more than ever, and that's why this is so important. With the investment that we are proposing today, we can help Michiganders continue to enjoy the nearly 4,000 local parks and tens of thousands of miles of trails for generations to come. So this summer, I hope that you'll get many opportunities to enjoy the outdoors, whether it's at local offerings like this phenomenal one, or is at our beautiful state parks all across Michigan. Just make sure you don't forget your sunscreen, okay? And with that, I just simply want to thank you all for joining us today. This is Michigan at our finest, coming together around the things that really define who we are and what makes our life such high quality in this great state of Michigan. Thank you so much.